Hello, welcome to the Pimpin' Poetry Podcast. Today, our guest is Deidra.
Hi.
Deidra, how's it going? How is life right now?
Life is busy and bountiful.
Awesome. I'm a huge fan, right? I saw you perform. I can't remember which show it was that you sang at, but it was amazing at the old Speakeasy. I was like, wow, like voice of an angel. Truly.
Oh, thank you. I'm going to be honest. Singing makes me very nervous.
Okay, why?
I think that it's mostly because like I've always been able to sing, but you know, when you hear your own voice, it's like, I know what good singing sounds like, and I want to sound like that. And not to say that I don't sing well, but you know, sometimes I know what I can do, and then I find myself kind of like, I'm not doing what I know I can do, and then I'm in my head about it.
Yeah. I think just like comparing yourself to others is just the thief of joy or whatever the hell they say.
Yeah.
Don't do it.
Yeah. So
like, you're amazing. Your voice is amazing. And I tend to have like so many issues with my nerves to the point where my voice will just start breaking as soon as I try to hit any note ever. I'm like, I can't do this.
Yeah.
I can do it in the shower. It's fine. You know, around the house, I might hit something here and there, but like in front of a crowd, I'm always like, I can't do it. It's hard.
Yeah. The more I let myself perform in front of people, the more comfortable I've been getting with my voice.
Nice.
And I'm going to accomplish some vocal goals this year.
Awesome. What type of goals? Like, what are you working on right now?
Singing wise?
Yes, because I know you said you were working on an EP at some point. So what do you want to get out of exactly, you know, just your career as a singer?
I honestly, I'm going to be real. My goal, my like vision for myself as a singer, I want to sing background. Like, nice. Ooh, ah, live, microphone stand. And then every so often they'd be like, do you want to sing a solo or take lead? Yes. Nice. These like 4 or 5 songs. And then go back to, ooh, you know, that and being a Beyonce cover band.
Oh, wow. That's like a thing. I'm not going to lie. I've never heard a Beyonce cover band.
I don't know. But if there is one, call me. And if there isn't one, we should start one.
Yes, we should. I am always down for being Michelle in your Beyonce cover band.
Yeah.
You know?
Sometimes.
Okay. So like, this is, I guess I'm trying to make this into a Destiny's Child cover band. Is that same thing?
We can do it all.
Okay.
It's Beyonce catalog. Yeah. Definitely there. And Michelle has never met a bridge she could not cross.
Exactly. So and I just want to be yelled at most of the performances too. I have a kink for that. So I would like that very much. Also, I need to know, like, what is your opinion of this country album? Are you excited?
I'm nervous. I'm nervous. It took a minute for the songs to grow on me. Mm-hmm. I have some opinions that I will not share on camera. We can talk after.
No, I understand.
They're not bad opinions. They're just, what is the word I'm looking for? Like anti.
You just do not want the Beehive to come for you because they'll come for you for any little thing. Like, don't look at Beyonce wrong.
You know, and I feel that. Yeah, I don't think not liking Beyonce is cool. I think you need to grow up and be real, but
I feel like I disagree because I feel like it's an opinion. Like, you don't have to like an artist. You do not have to listen to their music. You can choose what music and what artists you support and like. And if you don't like Beyonce, it might be a red flag.
Absolutely.
I've definitely gone through my years where I was just like, I'm not a huge Beyonce fan. I'm gonna be honest. However, I realize the impact she has. I realize how talented she is. I realize how hard she works. And I do think she deserves recognition for all of that hard work.
Absolutely.
Like, really. Yeah, that's my opinion on Beyonce.
I identify as a Beyonce evangelist. Mm-hmm. Like, I'm not in the Beehive. I'm not a Beyonce stan. I think that people who just aren't like are on the fence about her, I'm like, you just haven't been like turned over to her gospel.
Oh yeah.
But I have to like tone that down.
But it's a cult. A lot of these things are cults. Like these stands, y'all are part of the cult, and y'all like at some point in your life, you either join or you decide to completely ignore it, and that's your business. So I think I finally joined the cult around the time when she dropped Black is King.
Okay.
Like being like, oh, I feel like I have to defend her in a room full of white people is what I mean. But not like, oh, everything she does is great. She can do no wrong. Like everyone can do wrong in my eyes.
That's valid.
And I'm sorry.
That's valid.
Just the truth. Especially people with a lot of money, like Beyonce and Jay-Z. You know?
I do know. I get what you're saying.
Fuck Erykah Badu right now. What is she doing? Anyway.
I'm gonna drink some water on that.
Too much right now. Like, why is she beefing with Beyonce over hats and styles? Like, no one is stealing your style. You did not
invent that.
Like, you did not invent these top hats and shit. Like, please stop.
I don't know. I think beef is weird.
Same.
Beef between Black women? I could never.
Right. After she shouted you out and basically didn't have to. Anyway. But yeah, we're there. I understand. So, the Pimpin' Poetry podcast is focusing on, getting poets, artists, local artists in Atlanta to basically share your art and understand exactly what we have going on around the city. We're going to talk a little bit about poetry and go over a piece.
Okay.
And I know that you're an artist. How much poetry do you enjoy? Like, are you an avid reader? Like,
I enjoy poetry in waves. So there are periods of time where I'm like, I just need to read a really good poetry book, or I was going to say, here's some really good poetry. However, spoken word is not, I'm not someone who is typically in a spoken word audience, I will say. Mm-hmm. I enjoy hearing poetry a lot, and I am very particular about what that means.
Ooh, yeah. Okay. Well, we're going to get into that a little bit more when we get back. And we'll talk more about this because I want to know exactly what type of poetry you enjoy.
Okay.
Yes. We'll be right back. Hello, welcome back to the Pimpin' Poetry podcast. Today, our guest is Deidra. How are you?
I'm good.
Good. So when we left off, we were talking about poetry. And I have to say that over the years, my least favorite has definitely become erotic poetry. Only because I've experienced too much of it, I believe. Like, it's been an overload of it. And a lot of, there's only so much you can say about your pussy and your dick. Just saying. Like, I get it. I get it. It's great. It's wonderful. I love it. I love that self-love. But,
yeah, I concur.
Mm-hmm.
I think that for me, I have a theater background, and I love me some Shakespeare. Like, I love Shakespeare. I get really fired up about explaining the genius that is speaking in rhythm to tell a story that at a point in time, people weren't really watching, they were hearing.
Right.
And so when I hear spoken word, I want your words to carry through and be so sonically poetically, sonically, I know exactly what you're saying, and I see the vision, and I am hearing you. And then sometimes I'm like, I don't like what I'm hearing.
Yeah, no.
That's crazy. You want to do what? To where? To who?
Yeah. At the end of the day, poetry is not just rhyming words together. At the end of the day, you need to be telling a story.
Especially if you're going to do it in front of people.
Yeah. Yeah. And it has to be an experience where all of these things do come together. Another poet came on here and was absolutely just like breaking down like the actual, like just exactly what a metaphor is and how you use that, like all of these literary devices and how they can impact your writing and make it better. And I was just like, yo, that's what poetry is.
Yeah, it's like, fascinating.
Yeah.
And
so,
yeah,
I agree. I do. So do you write poems? Do you have any?
I have written poems.
Okay.
I do on occasion. I think that sometimes they like come to me and then I'm like, oh, okay. I think that for a really long time, like a poem was like a device for grief for me. And so I was writing these really like dark, not like sad dark, but like
Sylvia.
not like depressed dark, but just like, I would say like underground, you know, like the way a seed is in the earth kind of dark. Okay. There's a lot of imagery of like love and God and sex and rebirth and strangeness.
Yeah, so I'd like to read that. I just encourage creative writing in all forms. Like I love to read writing and just analyze every part of it because, you know, you can interpret someone's piece very differently. Like I love sitting in a room where we all heard the same piece and we all had 3-4 different opinions on what was going on because it's art.
Yeah.
It's up to interpretation all the time. So I guess my question is like, what part does your identity play in your writing and how do you come to terms with like, because you wrote an amazing song that you're going to perform here. And I listening to it was just like, yo, this shit is crazy. Like I'm trying to bump this in a car. Like, I'm so serious.
Thank you.
So like, what is your writing process like?
Honestly, the song that I wrote that I will be performing, I wrote it washing dishes. And
that's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. And honestly, in terms of what role my identity plays in it, I think that I am just someone that honestly, lately I've been identifying as a lonely person, not like in a sad way or like a pitiful way, just like, damn, I really like enjoy being alone. But also I think that I say that I enjoy being alone because I actually am just lonely and I don't want people to know that I'm lonely. You know?
Okay, that threw me. Because,
yeah.
All right, who are you saying that you're lonely? I mean, that you like being alone too? Is it just like something that you're, you know, advertising to friends and family? Like,
kinda,
I like being
that
alone.
Story.
Are you trying to keep them from coming over? What's happening?
I don't like people in my house. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
I'm not a big having people in my house type person.
Right.
And I also think it's that story of, what am I trying to say? Like, I like to spend a lot of time by myself or just have a lot of time to myself. And that is true, but also it's a story that is something that keeps me safe. And so poetry or writing and music and storytelling, all of those things kind of allow me to play in a world or a fantasy or an image where I'm not necessarily not alone, but I can be whoever I want and I don't have to perform.
Right. So do you feel like most of your life? So, okay. So
yes,
I think like, yes. So I think that, I've identified as an introvert most of my life, and I've dabbled in doing more extroverted things, going out and enjoying shows and going and trying to like force myself to network the past few years. And I'm getting better at it. Like even this podcast is an attempt for me to have the conversations I know that I feel that need to be had, and a way for me to practice for the next phase of my life in a way. Right. So when you say that you're enjoying your loneliness, do you feel like that is because you haven't had it in the past? Do you feel like you've sorry, do you feel like you've always been around people in the past? Do you feel like you've always had to be interacting with people constantly?
I think it's more of like always feeling like I needed to be on.
Yeah.
Like a version of myself that people would like. I am an entertainer and I love entertaining. I love making people laugh. But sometimes I just don't think people take me seriously. Mm-hmm. And it's hard being a funny girl.
Right.
And a funny girl. Like, yeah, I know that when I'm angry and I'm screaming and hollering, like, ha, 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 that's so funny. But no, like, when I say, like...
No one's taking it seriously because, like, because you feel like you've been playing this character your whole life?
Yeah.
Whoa. I feel like that sometimes, too, where it's just like, I really do not take anything too seriously. And that's like, that has led me down a path to where people never know when I'm serious or joking.
Right.
And it's like frustrating because I want to be able to say, hey, I'm easygoing and that like, I'm not too bothered by what people think, or I'm not holding grudges. Mm-hmm. Even if I am upset, you know, it usually goes away.
Right.
But yeah, then you have that issue where it's just like, I can't be sarcastic with certain people because they don't know if I'm being sarcastic, if I'm being serious,
if I'm being mean.
If I'm being mean intentionally to hurt them. So I have had to kind of improve my communication.
Yeah. And I feel like writing, I have discovered that like writing and playing around with different ways of creating art have helped me communicate better. Mm-hmm. And even if that is mostly just between me and me.
Yeah.
Because I used to not say nice things to myself or have a really good or positive disposition in my inner voice.
Right.
I had a confident inner voice, but you can have a confident persona, right, and then also still be mean or still be judgmental. And so I notice more that I like say nice things to myself, or I'm more patient with myself. And I think that's just because I gave myself that space to like say something that I thought wouldn't make sense to somebody else. You know, like,
right.
Sometimes I feel like I look in the mirror and I want to crack my skin in half and be reborn. And I say that to someone and they're like, that's fucking weird. I don't feel like that.
And it's like, no, like everyone's always, I felt like when I agree. I feel like when I'm around folks and I like the intrusive thoughts are winning, it's just like, some people get it. Some people do not. So it's like really picking and choosing with the crowd that you're in, you know, having to change characters for each friend group.
Yeah.
And like adjust your personality is draining. It is very draining. And that I think is why I think I'm enjoying myself and understanding myself more and spending more time in solitude and noticing, hey, yo, this is kind of where you should have been for a minute. Because you never really looked in to see exactly what you could create.
Right. And who is this character? And using poems or songs as a way to be like, okay, tell me about how you want to rip your hair out of your head. And it's like, I want to rip my hair out of my head so I can grow. And it's like, oh my gosh, that's so beautiful. Right. I say to me, and then I make a poem and then I share that and someone's like, this is beautiful. And I'm like, you get me.
Yeah, no, yes.
You also want to rip all of your hair out of your head.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's about finding your tribe at the end of the day. You know, you'll know when you see them. They just have the same disposition and the same dark thoughts sometimes. And I have a very dark humor that I'm just like, oh, I really need y'all to understand that, like, I think this shit is hilarious that this man's hand just got chopped off and I can't stop laughing. There was a specific artist who performed the other day And like she was making a joke about using her dead grandma's hand to masturbate. And I just thought it was so funny. And I'm like, that is very dark, because how did you get there? But like, it was because her grandmother had donated the hand to her. So it was sewn onto her hand in the joke. So it's like, how can I masturbate with my grandmother's hand?
Okay.
Like, yeah, it's dark, but like,
there's comedy there. Like, I think I gotta hear the joke, because right now I'm not really getting it.
Like, she didn't have a hand. And her grandmother was like, all right, when I die, you can have my hands. Okay.
Oh,
I know it doesn't make any sense.
That's wild.
But
no, because
does she not get to masturbate because her grandmother donated her hand?
I'm no longer ambidextrous in that department. I'm choosing. Like, if it was my good hand, I'd just have to get another good hand. If this isn't, I'm sorry. Not my grandmother. Sorry. She's not going to watch this. Maybe she will.
Meanwhile, I was dying.
I'm going to send it to her.
Like, you really took it there. Like, her grandmother's probably not even dead. She was probably just like sitting like, what if I got my grandma's hand? Like, how did your mind get there? Anyway, I appreciate the joke. Okay. And I think that it's important as Black women not to put ourselves in boxes. I think oftentimes we're fighting stereotypes every day. So we have to be these bubbly, friendly personalities that everybody wants us to be. And it's just like, nah, I got some shit I got going on and I'm trying to laugh through it.
Yeah.
You know? So let's talk about it. Mm-hmm. That's what I'm saying. I've been asking everyone this, and I would really like to know, how do you maintain a positive outlook on life?
Subconscious reprogramming audios on YouTube while I sleep.
Subconscious.
Yeah, I listen to, I think the page is called Healing Vibrations.
Right.
I found the Spotify account for this lady. I cannot repeat not one gosh darn,
because I'm trying to figure out what
mantra, affirmation. She says affirmations, and it'll be like, everything is always working out for me. That's like the theme. And I cannot repeat to you what one of those are, but I can tell you that when I lay my head down, she'll be like, and she's got this accent. She was like, everything's always working out for me.
Oh, wow.
I trust in the universe to usher me through brilliance. And I'm like, I do trust the universe to usher me.
What accent is that?
I think she has an Australian accent. I think I'm doing
okay. So like
not
the
that.
down under. She's saying, I don't know if I could listen to Crocodile Dundee.
No, I'm gonna share it with you. I'm gonna share it with you after this.
Okay.
And you're gonna be like, wow, because she's also got like the meditation music playing underneath.
I love that. So I am an ASMR girly. I definitely have gone to sleep to the people doing the clickety. Like, it is so tingly. Like, okay, my favorite one is Black China. Black China has an ASMR on YouTube, and she's like playing with shit, and her nails are so long that she's like playing and like gooey stuff and like popping champagne bottles and shit. And I'm just like, I could go to sleep to her.
I love that for you. It just makes me very uncomfortable.
All of them? Not even like the rock sound ones?
Okay, maybe there's this thing on TikTok. It's called wood soup.
Yeah, wood soup. That's what I was talking about. Yeah,
I love a good water and wood.
Just dope.
I do like a lot of water and wood.
Yep, just that neurospicy stuff going on there.
Yeah, I was also thinking of it in another way.
Cool. Okay, I think that's dope. Like, definitely keeping a positive outlook is something that I'm trying to actively work on still.
Yeah,
just like staying present, which is like what my therapist keeps trying to tell me to do.
Do you meditate?
No.
You gotta meditate. That's the other thing.
Yeah.
The subconscious reprogramming, I'm telling you, that and meditation. Those are my two, and making my bed in the morning.
Oh my God, me and Prod were just talking about making your bed in the morning, because I was like, I'm not doing that shit. Like, I have so much other shit to do I want to get to that point.
It takes you can't offer yourself 2 minutes to just make your bed?
No. I'm
telling you.
It's so funny because like some other ladies on another podcast were talking about it just today. And I was just like, wow, I really wish that I was that dedicated to like, it feels good. I did admit that like whenever my bed is made, it feels amazing to come home and just, roll into that motherfucker and look, even just looking at it, you're like, hell yeah, that's the bed. But nah.
You'll get there.
Yeah, I want to get there. I do.
I started doing it as a promise to keep to myself. I saw somewhere that like, you got to make one promise you can keep for yourself every day to build trust within yourself. And I was like, I don't trust myself. So maybe I should do that. And I was like, what's something I can do every day? Make my bed. Because I'm going to sleep in a bed wherever I go. Mm-hmm. So even if it's in a hotel, I will just toss the cover, even if it's halfway done.
Right. I've always got like the laundry that I need to fold on my bed. And I'm like,
make your bed with the laundry on there.
Shit,
Just do it with the laundry on there.
When I do make my bed, like if someone's coming over and I'm like, I can't, my bed is usually like made up with the laundry on top.
And then you imagine you going to get playful with another person. You walk in the room and their bed is made. That says something. You walk in the room and that bed is unmade. You're like, who the f has been here? That's just rude.
That's kind of wild.
I think it's rude for you to invite someone over for a little bit of physical intimacy.
Well, yeah, my bed is always made at that point. Like,
yeah.
Booty call is on the way. It's like, shit, I gotta get this shit looking right.
Then you gotta be the booty call for yourself every day.
I know. And I'm just like, am I like, is it that great?
Yes, yes, it is.
I want to get there. Okay. So I think that we could definitely jump into our round of trivia and going over our poem of the week.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Sure.
All right. We will be right back. Pimpin' Poetry Podcast. Hello, and welcome back to the Pimpin' Poetry Podcast. Today our guest is Deidra. Deidra, so right now we're going to go over our poem of the week. Are you excited?
Yes.
Like, I'm so happy. Lay it on me. Yes. So our poet of the week is Audre Lorde. Audre was born to Caribbean immigrants' parents in Harlem, New York in 1934. Such a long fucking time ago. A Black lesbian, feminist, socialist, mother, warrior, poet is what she described herself as. She was a pioneer of queer art and expression, and her work often explored intersectionality in a revolutionary way. This piece is called Jesse Helms. I am a Black woman riding my way to the future off a garbage skull knit from moral fibers stuck together with Jesse Helms. Come where art is a dirty word scrawled on the wall of Bilbo's memorial outhouse, and obscenity is catching even I'd like to hear you scream. Ream out your pussy with my dildo called Nicaragua. Ram Grenada up your fig hole till Panama runs out of you like Savimbi at flame. But you prefer to do it on the Senate floor with a sack full of paper pricks keeping time to the tune of a $195 million military band. Safe sex dripping from your tongue into avid senatorial ear holes. Later, you'll get yours behind the Senate toilets, where they're waiting for you, Jesse Helms. The white boys with their pendulous rules bumping against the rear door of Europe. Spread eagled across the globe, their crystal balls poised over Africa, ass up for old glory. Your turn now, Jesse Helms. Come on. It's time to lick the handwriting off the walls.
Kinky.
Yes. Audre was not playing with these motherfuckers.
Yeah, she wasn't afraid to say the dirty things.
She was not. And I mean, neither are they, right? Like Jesse, really, he was the father of the conservative, I guess, ideal that we are seeing today. You know, like the idea that really church and state should not be separated was what he put into place so long ago. Mm-hmm. And for her to be talking about that white man like this in 1934, like, what a bad bitch.
Right.
She was not afraid. And I want us all to kind of sit down and think of the world we're in right now.
Right.
Where we're headed towards another election that we don't even want to be involved in. Half of America does not want to be a part of what's going to happen in November.
Right.
And I think that we need to take some accountability and understand that, like, we have the numbers, therefore we have the power. Mm-hmm. That's it. That's it. That's all. Like, poor people and disadvantaged people in this country are the majority. Mm-hmm. So why are we not burning shit down? You know? I think Audrey would be so fucking disappointed in us. Yeah? She's like, bend these motherfuckers over and fuck them in the ass with your dildo.
Yeah.
And I agree. I think that's exactly what needs to happen.
And I also feel that it's like in her poem, I see her expressing, like, you support the fucking over of so many kinds of other people.
Right.
So many different communities. It's your turn.
Yeah. No.
I think that's what I like about the poem is, like, when I'm like kinky and like the dirty things, I think that she kind of turns that idea of like dirtiness and grittiness and, what's the word I'm looking for? Taboo, right? Mm-hmm. These typical queer taboo sex practices, or even like locations, like in a bathroom, or she makes these seedy places like this is the seed that you plant for these other people to get fucked over and to experience atrocity or what you think is atrocity. No.
Exactly. Would you like to live in that state of fear? Would you like to experience the way that you treat people that you probably will never meet and have never met?
Right.
And that's why you don't give a fuck about them. Because you're so far removed. We have so many people who represent us who have never experienced half the shit we've seen.
Right.
Mitch McConnell's bitch ass, old ass has no idea what it's like to be a 29-year-old Black woman. And he never will. And I hope he dies a terrible death. All right. Moving along.
Okay.
I'm sorry. This is an unpopular take, I understand, but I do think that people who don't give a damn about the lives of the poor and the underprivileged in general, like, get rid of them. Get out of here. I don't know I remember when Mitch's hand was turning black, I was just praying, yes, they're coming for you. Finally. Someone's put a spell on that nigga. Yay. Do work on me.
That's I never feel it.
Or the black spot in Pirates of the Caribbean when, like, Davy Jones was coming for your ass. That shit started to just get huge and huge. Yeah. Someone's coming for you. You will pay for all of the suffering you've caused others through your fucked up policies. Jesse Helms is rotting in hell. Anyway, so let's lighten it up a little bit. Yeah. I have some fun trivia for you. Mm-hmm. So I heard you like BoJack Horseman.
I love BoJack Horseman. Where did you hear that?
Back in the 90s, I was on a really famous TV channel.
Where did you hear that?
I know things. I'm kind of a stalker. So I've got a few BoJack trivia questions for you today. And then we're going to get into, because it is Women's History Month, so that's why we are, talking about women poets and discussing, like, their lives. I think it's very important that they get the recognition they deserve this month.
Period.
Bianca. Yeah. But now to BoJack. Which of the following is not a Mr. Peanut Butter quote?
Okay.
A, tennis makes me so mad. Why doesn't anybody catch the ball? B, things don't become traditions because they're good, BoJack. they become good because they're traditions. C. The universe is a cruel, uncaring void. The key to being happy is in the search for meaning. A, B, or C?
B.
Correct. Things don't become traditions because they're good, BoJack. They become good because they're traditions. Mr. Peanut Butter would never say anything like that. He's dumb.
I think that's what I love about him. Someone I know hates Mr. Peanut Butter, and they're like, I hate him because he's dumb. And I'm like, I love him because he is toxically optimistic about everything.
It's like a dog.
Exactly. I feel like the traditions thing is what, like Diane? Diane would say something like that.
Yeah, I like Diane. You know, I like her in my own way. I think that I loved her ending the most. Like, the way she came to terms with, like, her eating disorder and things like that. And, you know, accepting herself as a person and just learning to let some things go. I love the way.
I grew to appreciate Diane when I saw her as an Asian character.
Ooh.
Because she is Asian, but she's voiced by a white woman, and I couldn't figure out why I didn't like the character. And someone was like, because she's Asian and she's voiced by a white woman. And I was like, that's why every time I see Diane, I just think she's some white lady complaining about something.
Exactly. But that kind of sucks because I absolutely love that voice actress.
I love Alison Brie.
Alison Brie is one of my favorite actresses because, I don't know, I fell in love with her on Community. And then it was like, okay, that is problematic. You did not have to play that character, but you did play it pretty well.
And I'm wondering if that's kind of the point of the commentary, but continue with the trivia.
Yeah, I could talk all day about BoJack. How many muffins did BoJack Horseman eat?
12. He ate 12 muffins because he hated himself.
God, I love that I didn't even have to freaking finish this. But I didn't even get to say Neil McBeal the Navy SEAL.
Sorry.
Oh. So BoJack sits down and he eats 12 muffins that Neil McBeal, the Navy SEAL, had his eye on. Like, he had dibs on these muffins. He had already picked them up and placed them in a separate part of the store. BoJack picks it up and eats 12 muffins in one sitting. It's the funniest gag ever in an episode. And watch BoJack. Next question. How long did BoJack take to call 911, not knowing Sarah Lynn was just unconscious? A, 30 minutes. B, an hour. C, 17 minutes. D, 5 minutes.
17 minutes.
Correct. He's a scumbag sometimes. What type of cancer did Herb Kazaz have?
Ass cancer.
Herb Kazaz had rectal cancer, indeed. Lastly, what type of cat is Princess Caroline?
A Jellicle cat?
A, a Persian. B, a Siamese. C, a British Shorthair. D, a Maine Coon. A Maine Coon.
I'm going to say Persian.
Correct. Yes.
Ooh. I said Jellicle because her ringtone, but I was like, she's not a Jellicle.
I have no idea what a Jellicle. I don't know what these types of cats are. I was looking at them like, oh, there's different ones. Interesting.
Jellicle cats are black and white.
You ace that.
Yeah, I love that show. I've seen it probably 20 times.
Nerd. Anyway, you said it one night, and I was just I think it was me, you, and who hosts TKO? Willie? Yeah, and he was talking about that girl who was depressed about BoJack, and I was like, did you watch BoJack?
I love BoJack.
That is right.
I'm gonna watch it tonight now.
Yeah, you should. All right, now we're gonna get into the questions about women in history, because this one, I was doing some research and some of these surprised me. In 1913, in a major suffrage parade, Black women marchers were asked to march at the back of the parade, to dress in black instead of white, to stay home, or to march with their state delegations.
Probably to stay home.
They were asked to march at the back of the parade.
That seems like the really obvious answer, but I was hoping it would be.
want to stay on
Not that racist.
Like,
I don't even know which is worse. Like, just don't come.
yeah, it's very weird. I'm sorry. I'm sorry I worded it like that, but I put it in here confusing. Yeah, I think that is so insane that, like, if we're fighting for equality as women, y'all gonna tell us to march at the back? Mm-hmm. Fuck y'all. Yeah, we should have stayed home.
That's what I was hoping.
Phyllis Wheatley is famous for being the first African-American woman millionaire, B, first African-American female senator, C, first published African-American poet, D, first woman in America to vote in an election.
B,
senator. Mm-hmm. C, African-American poet. She is the first.
I know one of those. I had a 50% chance of getting it right.
Well, she was the first one to be published, so that's dope. Like, imagine that. Imagine being the first one to publish a book, like, of your poetry, like, Hall of Fame shit. Hall of Fame. Period. Yeah, no. I didn't know. Hello, and welcome back to the Pimpin' Poetry Podcast. Today our guest is Deidra. Deidra, so we're wrapping this on up. I'm so excited to see your performance tonight. It's going to be amazing.
Thank you.
And you're going to have a guitarist with you. Like, are you excited?
I am excited now. I was nervous before, but
Don't be at all. Okay. I'm going to be in the back screaming. So I want to know, what shows do you have coming up before we head on over?
What shows do I have coming up? I have Titty TKO coming up April 12th. I have Burley Bingo. I'll be hosting Burley Bingo April 15th. And I have my improv troupe.
Hey.
I started an improv troupe. We're the Playboy Punnies, and you can catch us April 26th at Pal's Lounge.
Nice. So what is it that you love about burlesque? Because these are all burlesque shows. Other than the improv, TKO is one of the most interesting burlesque shows in Atlanta.
Absolutely.
Like, honestly, titty slapping is one of my favorite sports now.
You should get in the ring.
I've been told that a few times, and I just feel like I don't want to hurt anybody.
I think they would love it.
But I've literally seen people get knocked out of their chairs, and I'm just like, this is real entertainment. Mm-hmm. But what got you into burlesque? What made you want to pursue this career?
The moment I saw a burlesque show, I was like, I can do that. I want to do that. And then I moved back to Atlanta, and I saw a Yam show, and I was like, oh, yeah, no, I have to do that. That's the summary version.
Yeah.
But on top of that, or alongside that, I think that I describe it as burlesque. It gives me permission to behave badly, I say, and still be admired.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Interesting.
People admire me for Deidra's bad behavior.
Oh, I mean, I've never even seen it as bad behavior. Like, it's definitely a Yam's experience for me is completely different from other burlesque shows that I've been to. One, because y'all are all women of color, and y'all are all just absolutely beautiful, stunning, and creative. Mm-hmm. So I hate when people think of it as like this guilty pleasure.
Yeah, I say that for me because Deidra as a character, she has like a life that will be unearthed as I develop the persona a bit more.
Right.
She is definitely a woman of murder and intrigue.
Oh.
So that's the bad behavior. The actual burlesque of it is the part that is admirable.
Exactly.
But the stories that I seek to tell
are
the parts that I'm like, what are these ladies?
Okay, that's the character that you have created. Mm-hmm. And okay, she's a bad bitch. Mm-hmm. Nice. I like that.
Thank you.
Dope. Shout out to The Love Below, which is now the Body Electric Studio. Mm-hmm. And
shout out to Yams.
Shout out to Yams. We're going to be right back, and they're just going to get up on this stage, which is really just our tiny bookcase. One, two.
Okay. Sorry. Hi, I'm Deidra Knight, and this is my song LSD. One, two, three. Baby, it's crazy how I'm feeling. I've been searching for the words to explain what I'm wanting, fiending for and craving, and to excuse myself for how I may behave. You see, your loving's got my heart all hazy, and my mind is feeling things I can't ignore. I've got no sense of direction, no perspective of up or down. In this world of you, I'm waiting to explore. But oh, I want you to take me higher, higher. Can you take me higher? I don't wanna come down from you. I love it when you take me higher, higher. Can you take me higher? I don't wanna come down from you. And this feeling's got a hold on me. My body is willing, hungry for your touch. You know I need a good dose of you, even after the pleasure's over. Whoa. No, I don't mean your time, no, you're fine. More of you would be just enough. I want you to take me higher, higher. Can you take me higher? I don't wanna come down from you. I love it when you take me higher, higher. Can you take me higher? I don't wanna come down from you. Dazed and confused by the things that you do when you say to me, lost in the world of your paradise and your ecstasy. And I know I'm not addicted, I got this love under control. I just need more of your love, baby. You can have my heart and soul. Just take me higher. Oh, I promise I could take you higher too. I don't wanna come down from you. You know I love it when you take me higher. Oh, I want you to take me higher, baby. I don't wanna come down from you, and I ain't got no words left to say for how I'm feeling for you, baby. I ain't got no words left to say. I ain't got no words left to say for how you make me feel this way. Higher, can you take me higher? I don't wanna come down from you. You know I love it when you take me higher, higher. Can you take me higher? I don't wanna come down from you.